The single most important piece of text on your entire Amazon listing might just be the one you've thought about the least, your product title. Seriously, getting this wrong can make you totally invisible, but getting it right, well, that can change everything. So let's dive in and break down how to master it.
So, if you're an Amazon seller, does this sound familiar? You've got this amazing product. You know it's great, but the views and sales, they're just not happening. It kind of feels like you're shouting into the void, right? Well, guess what? The problem probably isn't your product. It might just be the handful of words that introduce it.
Think of the product title as its digital handshake. In that huge sea of search results, it's that one bold line of text that has to do all the heavy lifting. It needs to grab a shopper's attention, tell them what's special, and earn that all-important first click. I mean, if you get the click, you're in the game. If you don't, you're not.
This brings us to what I like to call the golden formula for success on Amazon. It's a title that is crystal clear for your customer and perfectly compliant with all of Amazon's rules. When you nail both of those things, you unlock better search visibility and, of course, more sales. It's really that simple, and we're about to break down exactly how to do it.
Okay, first, let's cover the ground rules. And let me be really clear here. These are not suggestions. They're non-negotiable. If you break them, you risk getting your listing suppressed, which is just a fancy way of saying Amazon literally makes your product invisible to shoppers. So yeah, this first part is absolutely critical.
Rule number 1 is super simple. Length. You have a strict 200-character limit. The mistake a lot of sellers make is they try to cram everything in there, and it just becomes this confusing jumble of repetitive words and fluff. The right way to do it is to be concise and informative, telling the customer exactly what they need to know without all that extra noise.
Now, while 200 characters is the absolute max, the real magic number you should be aiming for is 80. So why 80? Well, it's because that's usually all that's visible on a phone before the title gets cut off. And if you want to capture all those mobile shoppers, and trust me, there are a lot of them, you've got to get the good stuff in before that 80-character mark.
Next up, absolutely no promotional words. I'm talking about phrases like free shipping, bestseller, or 100% quality guaranteed. These are totally forbidden in the title. Amazon wants facts, not marketing hype. So instead of saying it's a bestseller, describe why it might be one. Point out its features, like stainless steel and auto shutoff.
All right, next you've got to watch your symbols. Amazon's title field is a clean zone. That means no exclamation points, no dollar signs, no weird characters. Using them just looks unprofessional and can actually get your listing flagged. Just stick to commas to separate your ideas. It keeps it looking professional and easy to read. And our final must-follow rule, avoid aggressive repetition. Repeating a keyword over and over again, it's a tactic called keyword stuffing, is a huge red flag. It looks spammy to customers, and it looks spammy to Amazon's algorithm. So instead of saying baby boy 3 times, use that valuable space to highlight key features, like cotton full sleeves. Okay, so you know the rules to avoid getting your listing shut down. Now, let's kick it up a notch. We're going to go from just being compliant to creating a title that actually works hard to sell your product. These are the best practices that'll make your listing truly stand out from the crowd. So how do you actually structure all this information? Well, there's a proven formula that works because it follows how customers actually think and shop. You start with the brand, then the style, the product name, a standout key feature, and then you get into the specifics like color and size. This sequence just instantly builds a clear picture on the buyer's mind.
Let's talk about capitalization for a sec. It seems small, I know, but it's all about professionalism. You should capitalize the first letter of each major word. But please, whatever you do, do not use all caps. It just feels like you're shouting at the customer. And remember to keep those little connecting words, like and, for, or with, in lowercase.
Here's a super quick and easy win. Use digits, not words, for numbers. A customer's eye can scan and register the number 5 so much faster than the word 5. It makes your title way more scannable and efficient, which is crucial when a buyer is just scrolling through dozens of options. Oh, this is a big one. You have to avoid subjective, opinion-based words like best, amazing, or cheapest. Let's be honest, customers are pretty skeptical of those claims anyway. So the key is to replace those fluffy words with hard, factual features. Don't just say it's best quality. Tell them it's 1 liter and leak-proof. Let the facts do the selling for you. All right, we've covered a lot of theory. Now, let's see how this all works in the real world. We're going to look at some examples and actually transform a weak title into a powerful sales-driving one right before your eyes. Just look at this transformation.
The original title is a total mess, right? It's full of subjective claims and forbidden phrases like free shipping. But the corrected version? It's clean, it's powerful, it's specific, telling the customer it comes with a dia and incense holder, and even adds a valuable detail like gold finish. It replaces all that hype with genuinely helpful information.
But what happens if your product comes in multiple colors or sizes? This is where variations come in. Think of it like a family. The parent listing is the main product, like Amazon Essentials t-shirt. Then the child listings are all the specific variations, the white, medium version, the blue, large version, and so on. The key is to keep the parent title generic and put all those specific details only in the child titles.
We're almost done, but I really want to tackle a few common questions that we see all the time. So let's run through a quick-fire FAQ to clear up any lingering doubts you might have.
First up, this is a great question. What happens if your actual registered brand name has a special character in it, one that's normally not allowed in the title? Are you in trouble?
And the answer is simple. You're safe. That special character rule for titles does not apply to the dedicated brand field in your listing. So you just enter your brand name correctly in that specific spot, and you'll be totally fine.
Okay, this is the one that keeps sellers up at night. How can you even tell if your listing has been hidden or suppressed because you messed up the title?
Thankfully, Amazon makes it pretty easy to check. You just log into Seller Central, go to Manage Inventory, and then look for the view called Search Suppressed and Inactive Listings. If your product is sitting on that list, it's definitely time to review your title against all the rules we just talked about.
So, let's bring it all home. If you remember just one thing from all of this, make it this. A clear, compliant title isn't just a label. It's the front door to your product page, and it is the key to unlocking better visibility and ultimately higher sales on Amazon.
And that brings us to the end. So I'll leave you with a little call to action. After everything we've covered, go take a look at your own listings. I want you to ask yourself, which one of my product titles am I going to fix first? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.